Welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. I'm Carolyn McDonald and I'm here with Ahuatl Amaro to talk about his film Mean Girls. Let's take a look at a clip.
Hi. Rando.
The Tricks are a competitive gay soccer club. The Tricks don't have time for newbies, wimps, or wannabes.
That's game. Winning the Gay World Cup would mean the world to my dad.
Your mom and I love to watch you play. I would want to go back and relive those moments.
Do you still play soccer?
Who's asking?
I'm bringing back the team.
They're all straight. Don't you have to be gay to play in a gay World Cup?
I want to beat the mean soccer gays, and we can't win without you.
You know, I do love a good revenge story.
Okay to know.
Slay.
Well, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here. So tell us, what was your inspiration for this delightful and poignant film?
Oh gosh, it's a lot, right? So Mean Girls is a sports comedy, and it follows Tenoch, who's an adorable gay Latino who decides to join an LGBTQ soccer team to bond with his father over their shared passion for the sport. So one day, Tenoch decides to try out for the West Hollywood Tricks, which is the world defending champions of the gay soccer World Cup. And so as he's trying to make the team, he quickly finds out that the team is filled with mean-spirited gays. And so he decides that he must now build a team to rival them and beat them at their own game. And so it's a sports comedy, there's a love interest, and it's also like it's a heartfelt story. It's this young 20-something-year-old who really wants to create one lasting memory with his father before he loses his battle to Alzheimer's. And so I know it sounds like a lot. It is a short film, and it's really inspired by my family's obsession with soccer. Growing up, I grew up here in Los Angeles on the east side of Los Angeles County, both East LA and a small little suburb here. And soccer was a huge cornerstone of our upbringing. So the way that I describe growing up was we spent all day at the soccer field on Saturday. On Sunday, we would go to Mass and be at the church cafeteria. And on Monday, we were at City Hall. It sounds like a funny and strange little family, right? I think as queer, Latino, working class background, many of us grow up, but also work, grow up in a very rich culture in terms of there's always a reason to party in Mexican communities. There's always a reason to celebrate something. And so a lot of what we do in our communities is support each other, whether it be through sports, whether it be through civic engagement, or through a local church. And so my family was interesting in the sense that both my parents saw themselves as conveners. And so they took on leadership roles in soccer, at the church, and even City Hall. And it sounds strange, but it also makes absolute sense because now more than ever, given the political climate of the terrorizing and targeting of Mexican, Latino, and immigrant communities, we need to do everything we can to stay together, to protect each other, and uplift each other. And so it's just been part of, it's not an autobiographical short film, but it really is inspired by my family, my community, and just everyday heroes who are doing everything that they can to create a better world than the one that we grew up in.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Really and I could see it in the film, you know, how the lead character goes to different people when he's trying to put, I don't want to spoiler alert.
Oh, you can spoil it.
But trying to put together his team, you know, and going to each person that he had a relationship with, and we see it's very heartfelt, you know, relationship with. So I could see all that you just talked about, you know, in the short film. There's a lot going on there, but it's I could see it very apparent that strong community. So talk about how you chose with the scripting of incorporating these things from your real life inspiration to incorporate the Alzheimer's and that father-son relationship. How did you decide to, you know, put that element in the story?
Yeah, I'll share that, and I'm so grateful and humbled that you enjoyed aspects of the film. Every time I talk to someone about it, they're like, "Oh, I really like this." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't see that aspect of it," and it's multi-layered. It's multi-layered. I try to be as funny as I can in the film, and I try to engage as many folk as I can. And what I want to say with that is that we, as queer people of color, as working class folk, we're multi-layered. You know, many people are multi-layered, are multi-identity, and so you navigate this world with a broad understanding of knowing that an aspect, a component of who you are is not all of who you are. Absolutely. And so I try to bring that into the film. He is a son, he is a convener, he's a team captain, and he's an athlete. And underneath the story that we don't share because it's so short, he's a teacher, he's an educator, he's a caregiver. And he honestly has a strained relationship with his father. We'll learn why. And the question is, why Alzheimer's? Why does the father have to have that? And so in my family, in my extended family, my grandmother had dementia. And so her last years, she was suffering from cognitive issues. And so that inspired it a little bit before she transitioned, before she passed away. She didn't recognize my dad. She didn't know who he was, and she didn't know who the people who were taking care of her were. And it's something that affects Latino communities. Latinos are more likely to develop dementia, Alzheimer's, and cognitive issues compared to the broader population. And they're less likely to seek health or secure health. We also know that there are a lot of adult caregivers in this country who are not supported by our system. They're taking care of their elderly parents. They're taking care of their parents who have cognitive issues and are not and need the extra support. And so I wanted to bring light to the fact as someone of my age, and I think as I think of the future and the mental health of my parents, I'm like, whoa, this is something that I'm gonna have to think about as they grow older, and they, you know, is this something that's gonna inflict them, something that's gonna affect them? And the work that I've done over the years has been focused on advancing not just social change, not just social justice. In my day job, I work with nonprofit organizations to advance policies that just support historically marginalized, historically communities that still lack sufficient access to culturally competent healthcare. And so through the work that I've done, I've come to realize that there's still more to increase awareness about all these different healthcare issues that are underfunded and undersupported. And that's what we did with physical therapy, the film that we screened at NewFilmmakers LA last year. And some of those healthcare social issues are issues that we like to uplift, or that I love to uplift in my short films.
Actually, I remember that film.
Physical Therapy, you watch
it? Yeah, I do. I applaud you for
Oh,
for
thank
doing
you.
that. Yeah, that's really wonderful. So with this film now, with Mean Goals, it felt like it was part of a larger story. Is this a proof of concept for a feature film? Because at the end, I wanted to see more. I wanted to see them play. I wanted to see what happens.
You're
with
too
Tim and
kind.
his father. It's the truth. So my burning question was, is this a concept for a feature film that we're going to see more of?
So I still play soccer. I've actually stopped playing soccer as a kid. As a kid, in the late 1900s, homophobia was just rampant, and instead of trying to continue fighting with my bullies, I just said, I can't continue playing soccer. This is too much. And so I would just manage the snack shack at the park and sell snacks while my dad was a referee and my siblings played the game. But I never stopped thinking, and I was pretty decent as a kid. I never stopped thinking, like, what would have happened if I never would have quit soccer? And when I moved back to LA, I wanted to reconnect with my siblings. And I thought that by playing soccer with them, I would be able to forge a stronger relationship. Didn't work out. And so I thought, what if it would have worked out? What if I would have continued playing soccer? What if it would have worked out with my siblings? And so I wrote a feature film. And we do have that idea. We have both the feature film and we have a TV pilot that we've written, and we would love to develop it because obviously there's a series. Every episode they're playing a different team. The Encino Earthquakes, or I don't know, a team in Dallas or Houston, and a team in Paris. In fact, I myself competed at the 2018 Gay Games in Paris, which happen every 4 years. There's 10,000 amateur athletes from throughout the world that go to a specific city. They used to be called the Gay Olympics, but because of trademark reasons, they had to change the name to the Gay Games. And so it's inspired by that. There's so many stories to tell. And you know, it's funny that we have so many films about high school politics, but people sort of still behave that way. You still have that in crowd. You still have, you know, the bullies, and you still, obviously, we see that in the White House. And so even though we're adults, even though we're playing recreational sports, you still see that behavior from high school.
Yeah, no, and it's juvenile, but it is high school. So you got to take into account that that's the environment, you know, that this happens in sports and immature, you know, places. So tell us where we can follow you and, you know, find out about your upcoming projects. It's been really delightful to talk to you about your film. So tell us, how do we keep following you?
So you can follow us on Instagram at Agua Dulce Productions.
Okay.
So it's Agua Dulce Productions. And we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. Our film is screening at NewFilmmakers LA. Mean Goals is screening at NewFilmmakers LA. And we'll also be screening at film festivals throughout the country, in San Francisco, in Seattle. We were just in San Diego. We will be in Orange County soon, and we've been in DC, and then we'll be in New York next week. So follow us, find out where there will be a screening near you soon, and hopefully, you know, with your support, we get to produce the feature film that will hit theaters in the not so distant future. The World Cup is coming to the US, Canada, and Mexico. The Olympics are coming to LA. So we really want to ride that wave, that soccer craze that's about to hit North America. And with your support, follow us on Instagram, message all the huge production companies and tell them you want to see Mean Goals, the feature film version, because it's been more than 20 years since we've seen a queer sports comedy. More than 20 years. It was in 2002 that we had Bended Like Beckham, but what queer sports comedy have we had since then? We need to change that.
Oh, All right, well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having
It
me.
was great meeting you and seeing your film. I look forward to seeing the rest of it, okay?
Thank you again.